Hello. Can y'all hear me? All right, all right, all right. All right, thank you everybody so much for coming out tonight. We are so ready to get started. Thank you guys so much for coming out for the live podcast taping of Funky Friday. It is our absolute honor to introduce the 2015 NFL MVP, the host of Funky Friday podcast, and the ultimate disruptor, Cam Newton.
How we doing? 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 There we go. There we go. Hey, listen, they said the after party starts right after this, so I ain't gonna be here long. I promise you I'm not gonna be here long. I just want the energies to be good, the vibes to be right. We in Miami. We in Miami turning up for the night. Looking at, all right, here we go. Let's get rocking and rolling. Now, tonight is going to be an experience that it's going to be a good vibe, good chill. You know, I don't know. We all watched the movie Happy Gilmore. Special thanks goes to Netflix for putting this event on. And one of the main things that that movie embodies is the way Happy was a disruptor. There's no denying that. And there's so much similarities that I can relate to in my life, especially now, being a disruptor in the media space, being a disruptor on the football field. And my next guest, or my guest, is also a disruptor. So as we get prepared for this particular individual, he's a TV host, he's an actor, he's a producer, an entrepreneur, an author, proud HBCU grad, Omega man, son, brother, newly fiance, and also a disruptor. I present to some and introduce the others. Help me welcome Terrence J. We don't got no DJ, Netflix. We need, yeah. What's going on with you?
So much. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cam.
What's up, bro?
What's up, man?
I'm good, man.
Oh,
you know,
man, we here. Funky Fridays, baby.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be me if I don't scramble out the pocket real quick. Man,
Okay.
we want to all know, like, how did you propose to your lady?
Oh,
like, what
wow.
was that?
Wow.
Out the gate. I'm
Right out the gate.
Yeah. Talk
Straight
to us
the
about it
question.
for the lovers that's out there, man.
You know, well, hi, it's good to see you.
What's going on?
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna set the stage, right?
Please.
So I told my girl, I'm like, we're gonna go to a museum opening. And I said that I had to work. So I was like, you got to dress up because I'm working tonight. So I want you to come. So she dressed real nice. And we go to the thing. And so she's looking around. We go to the gallery and there's nobody there. So she's like, this is so weird. Like nobody's at the gallery. So we like walk through, see the artwork, see the whole vibes. And then I'm like, oh man, I don't know. Maybe people are upstairs for the event. So we get in the elevator, we go upstairs, opens the door, and then all of her family is there, right? The dog is there, the mom is there, everybody's there, the whole family is there. And then she's like, what's happening? So we start tearing up, and then we like walk to the edge of like this thing, and I get down on one knee. I did it here in Miami. I did it here in Miami at the Perez Art Museum. I rented out the whole top level. We love art. We love culture.
That's dope.
And so that's where I hit the knee. I never told that story. That's why Cam's podcast is the best. He gets straight to it.
Trying, bro.
He gets straight to the good questions.
Man, I'm just asking for the guys. There's some guys that's out here, man, that's, you know what I'm saying, that's really in love. And there's some gals that's, you know, trying to give them a hint because I'm always an opponent of people, not just male or female, just people. Guys don't necessarily know how to necessarily do certain things. You called the mom, you called the dad, you called the cousins and the homegirls, and nobody told.
No. It was tough keeping it a secret because when you do that, you got to start coordinating about a month and a half out. And so you can't spill all the beans, and it's like doing a surprise party, but the stakes are higher.
Real high.
So you got to really plan it out carefully. Love, romance and love, man. It's a rare art form, It's
But
not,
it goes hand in hand, though.
absolutely.
Now, when did you know? Like, was there ever a time, you guys have dated for how long?
6 years.
6 years. Was there ever a time where you said, okay, this is definitely the one right here?
People always laugh when I saw her, I knew. When I saw her, I knew. I think also, like, it's you find a person that brings the best out of you. You find a person that helps with your emotional intelligence, helps with your growth. And I also think for men, there's just a certain time in life. The version of me from 15 years ago, 10 years ago. With men, our cerebral cortex doesn't form until we're until we're like 27. So the immaturity, you had to grow into that, and I think I know now I'm at a point where I'm ready to get married. So.
That's for sure. That's good, because I'm saying the toxic me is saying, like, what took you so long to get that knee dirty? You 6 years, but God's time, baby.
God's time.
Now I'm gonna get to my iPad, man. Because there's some folks over there thirsty and they trying to get to the after party. You dig? You were 1-on-1 on 6 and Park, right?
Yes.
And for me, this is a new space that I'm in with media. Being a member of the media, being one of the OGs that have championed the ability to be authentic, the ability to be professional, and also cultural at the same time. You've done so much in this space. What were some of the things that you had to, kind of go through to get to where you are now?
Wow, that's a great question. This is an exciting time. This year is the 25-year anniversary of 106 and Park. So has anybody? So people here have watched.
I think they heard. Yeah.
So we're celebrating 25 years, and in order to get on that show, when people see you on TV, it's just one day they turn on their TV and they see you. But the grind to get there was years and years in the making. I went to college. I studied. I studied broadcasting. I worked on radio stations. I worked at newspapers. I really honed in the craft of interviewing people and being able to communicate. And my particular journey to get on 106 was an audition. They had an audition in New York City. I flew to New York City for the audition, walked into the room of the audition, and completely fumbled it. Was horrible in the room. Did a terrible job. And I got told no. But the person that was in front of me in line in the audition came out of the room and was like, yes, I made it to the second round. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, if the person right in front of me can make it to the second round, I at least got to be able to make it to the second round. So they had auditions the next day in Atlanta, Georgia, right? Mind you, I'm in New York City. I got into the car with one of my boys, and we drove from New York down to Atlanta to audition for the very same job the next day. I had the same clothes on.
That's dope.
I had the name tag from the New York audition. And when I walked into the room, when I walked into the building, they had cut off the line because I got there so late. They was like, we're not taking anybody else. And I said, oh, no, I was already in line. I just left something in the room. Can you let me back in? And that's how I got back in. I was the last person to audition, and my whole life changed because I took it one step further. And so I always tell people, it's so easy to give up on your dreams. Like, that's the easiest thing to do. All of us have dreams, and sometimes it's just that one more step that can help you accomplish them.
Man, that's beautiful, bro. Man, shout out to you for that. Now, with the state of media right now, I don't even know, and I would even ask this question, who really went to school to do media that's actually in media right now? And for just the sake of this conversation, Cam Newton is interviewing Terrence J, and Terrence J isn't interviewing Cam Newton. Yeah. That if you were to probably ask yourself 3 years ago, it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely. I thought when I saw this come in, I thought it was going to be the other way around for sure.
But it's we're in a very creative time where you don't have to have the broadcasting degree. You don't necessarily have to go to school for journalism or any type of publication or anything. What would you say to the individual that is like, you know what, I'm a fan of creating content, right? How can I make this a real thing or a career?
You hit the nail on the head. We are in a completely different time. 25 years ago, when I started studying journalism to want to enter into the industry, there were a lot of gatekeepers. There were not many jobs, and the entire industry was different. Technology has really changed the entire entertainment industry, and not just from a media perspective, but also film, TV, anything that you want to do. Because now with technology, you can use your phone and go directly to consumers, right? You can create your podcast, you can create your show, you can load it up on YouTube. When we started 106 in Park, YouTube didn't exist. Facebook didn't exist. You know, I think MySpace was like, right around, you know, right? So the internet was brand new.
Right.
So technology has really changed the game, and I love it. I love the fact that we now live in a world where an accomplished athlete such as yourself has now seamlessly transitioned into another field, and you are now an expert in this field. You're incredibly good at what you do, and it's a testament to the fact that all of us have genius level ability across the board. All of us have many things that we're great at, right? But a lot of times growing up, we're told that you can only do one thing, right? And we're told that you have to get a job. We're told that you have to, you know, pay the bills, and a lot of times our dreams are killed at a young age. So we're not promoted, and we're not told and taught to dream as big as some of our ambitions could be, right? And so when we now look at the landscape and we have people that are coming from success in one field, transitioning, you're now successful in another field and multiple other fields. It's a testament to where we are in the world, and it also should encourage everybody to not feel like they're limited by anything, to not feel like anything can hold you back from accomplishing what your goal and your dream might be.
And I like that, man. So obviously we're here for, you know, the Happy Gilmore 2 release, and it's out now on Netflix. Happy was the full definition of a disruptor, as I mentioned earlier. What does being a disruptor mean to you, and when did you realize you were one?
Oh man, that's a great question. Yeah, I mean, like Happy Gilmore is one of my favorite movies. I'm so happy they came back with the sequel. And for anybody that hasn't seen, you know, he had the incredible hockey swing, but he was able to transition that into having the toughest golf swing, right? For me in my career, everything was always about what can I do next? What boundary can I push? How can I open up a new door that hasn't been explored? So when I was at 106 in Park, we were going into contract renegotiations. It was going to be the next big deal, but I was comfortable. And I had been doing it for a long time, and it was the best job of my life. But I felt like I had other things that I wanted to accomplish. And so I left and I went to LA and I started working on a show called E! News. And so now I'm in the hallway with Ryan Seacrest and Juliana Rancic and all these, you know, people from the West Coast. And now I'm trying to show them, you know, I'm from a show that films in New York City that's all about hip hop, but I can come conjugate a verb, read the news stories, do whatever I need to do with them, right? And so then I did that. And then I wanted to do film. And then I wanted to see what the Oscars was all about. And then, you know, it's always, you know, right now I host and I produce Miss America, right? I've always just tried to figure out where we aren't and try to open the door to make it easier for the next generation to come in and fulfill their dreams.
Man, no doubt. Now, they obviously, if you watch the movie, I did, and they underestimated Happy. Have you ever been underestimated, and what was that like? And how did that flip something in you to inspire you to move forward?
Oh, absolutely. Everything that I've been able to accomplish, I was told by somebody, mainly people that I was close to, that my dream was dumb, right? Like that, people would say, hey, right now you're in a good position.
Yeah.
You're comfortable. You're good. You have a job, right? Why leave that to pursue a dream when you're already where some people would want to be, right? Every single step along the way, there's been somebody that's like, that's dumb, right? And I believe that is the case of everybody that's always wanted to accomplish anything. At a certain point in time, somebody was like, hey, we're going to come up with chairs. Somebody said we're going to come up with artificial grass, right, that we're sitting on, right?
That's stupid. Why would anybody like
Why?
that?
The world is full of grass, right? And so somebody had to creatively say, no, there's going to be points where Cam Newton and Terrence J are going to need to sit on artificial grass, and we don't want to sit on soil. Every idea that you see can be a $1 million, billion-dollar idea. And that's what I've always had to do, is not listen to people that said you can't do something, but only use it as fuel to continue to go after whatever I vision.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? When, as I'm getting prepared, to have this discussion with you, I'm looking into an audience full of entrepreneurs, beautiful people, by the way, and the power of branding, right? And just saying Terrence, who? But you say Terrence J, that's a household name, right? Not Terrence Jenkins. Who is that? Terrence J. You know exactly who that is. For people that are in content or getting to content, and you have this battle of being authentic, that's one, that's the non-negotiable, but how did you leverage and stand on, like, yo, I need to build a brand around Terrence J?
I mean, wow. So that took years. One of the best things that happened to me was getting hired for really big jobs, right? That's great because you're able to just show up and work. But in doing so, you then kind of just become part of whatever show or whatever brand you are. It takes a lot of time to really develop who you are. And over time, people will always try to influence you and make you become whatever they envision you as, right? So if I'm hosting a music show, they'll just try to, oh, you're the music guy, right?
Yeah.
They'll try to make you, and I'm sure for you, I mean, because did people try to hold you into a box when you started with the podcast?
They're holding me to a box now.
You feel like that still now? Because I feel like I know you're crushing it.
Yeah, but it's different, especially with me, because they take you for what they know you for, not who you're aspiring to be. You see what I'm saying? It's like, Cam's a football player. What the hell does he know about fashion? Yeah. Like, Cam's a football player. What does he know about art? Cam's a football player. Why does he even get to talk about football? He just knows how to play it. And through it all, those things you have to keep constantly reminding people, I'm more than that. And they would always ask, like, why you keep wearing these weird outfits, bro? Like, you doing too much. I would always rebuttal and say, no, you're not doing enough. Because the exclamation point. The thing about it is, being a football player, you have a lot of things going against you, surprisingly. You're a masked athlete, right? And if it wasn't because of a man's physique, you couldn't necessarily know who exactly that was. Like, don't speak for you, speak for your fiance. If you were to ask her, you say, hey, babe, how many football players do you know? Oh, I know this, I know that. But if they actually walk across her face, she wouldn't be able to, like.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
She better not be able to.
Hello. Hello.
She can't.
No, it was a joke. But for me, it was one of those things like, how can I really talk about my interests or show my interests with the little 15 seconds of a Sunday that I get? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So when you're talking about branding, it was one of them things like, why Cam wearing a bow tie with the doggone jersey? It got your attention, didn't it? Checkmate, I got you. Like, what's going to make you stand out that's true to you? Because I don't think a lot of people, like, you doing something and you're getting called goofy. And granted, I got called goofy a couple times until somebody realized they find me on a Wednesday or a Tuesday at Publix, and I have on a bow tie and a jersey, and it's like, oh, you.
And they probably also realize you're 6'4" and
Six foot six. Yeah.
6'6". Don't get it twisted. Don't forget the extra.
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia,
from Atlanta,
too.
Georgia.
You know
He's not playing no games.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, and it's a testament. Like, when you know you're about to interview Cam Newton, you're gonna spend a couple extra minutes in your closet making sure. Like, I went through a couple. I was like, I gotta put my vest on because I know I'm gonna interview Cam.
Gotta
and I know
stomp.
he's gonna bring it.
Don't just step
And
to me. You gotta stomp.
You gotta come with it. But that's branding 101.
Yeah.
Differentiating yourself and standing out from the crowd, and you've done it, expertly.
Yeah, I see a situation where now, like I said, in media, it's so many different elements. You got, mainstream media, you got underground media, streaming media, and things like that. And I've always stood on ownership. I've always stood on also being emotionally intelligent to know walking into the green room of 106 in Park and then walking into the green room of Miss America is two different green rooms.
Two different green rooms.
Same color, but two different green rooms. How are you able to really know the dance, and who helped you with that maturation in business as a whole?
That took time. Patience is a virtue, and it took time to be able to transition into those rooms. You mentioned a lot of different words that being authentic is something that's of the utmost importance. But finding your level of authenticity when you hear so much background noise is really tough. Mm-hmm. So when I was transitioning from doing a show that was very hip hop based, I'm on TV, sneakers, hats to the back, to now I'm doing a show where I'm supposed to wear a business suit every day, right? I mean, I'm literally going from interviewing, 2 Chainz to now interviewing Brad Pitt, right? 2 completely different interview styles. You don't want to be fake on either side.
Oh, for sure.
But I think it's the testament to who we are, right, as black men. And I think, like, a lot of times, especially as black people, we don't get enough credit for the diversity that we have within us. We've been raised going to different schools, going to different school systems. We know how to work the room. We know how to talk to people, And I feel like I can be dropped off anywhere on God's green earth.
Talk to me.
And I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure out how to get to the bag. I'm gonna figure out how to advance the situation, and most importantly, I'm gonna figure out how I can help the people around me. That's the most important key.
For sure. You talk about getting to the bag. And I know with your journey to where you are now, oftentimes it's not always, it's public knowledge, depending on how big the bag is, but for an athlete, that's different. Like, I want to know your journey when you finally made that, finally, I get something to show for the hard work. You went to school for it. You traveled and didn't get probably reimbursed from that 600-mile drive from New York to Atlanta, but it was doggone worth it. When was the time in your career when you felt that the compensation met, your hard work?
All right. So I'm in New York City working on a television show, 106 in Park, and the show is at the height, right? It's super popular. Everybody's watching. It's a big week on the show. I get a call from a friend of mine named Will Packer, and Will calls me and says, hey, are you free this week at the end of the week? I'm having a table read in LA. I don't know where you are, but the person that's supposed to do the table read just backed out. They don't want to do the table read. They just want a direct offer only. And I just need somebody to read. You kind of fit the role, but this really ain't for you. But I would just love for you to show up for the table read and hold me down, right? I have to work, and I say, absolutely, I'll be there. Call in sick to work, right? jump on a flight.
Boy, I was about to say, I thought you was driving to L.A.
No.
too. I called my boy. We drove to L.A.
No.
Okay.
So
you caught a flight.
I caught a flight
All
to
right,
LA.
there we go.
I don't know what a table read is. So I just think we have to go over the whole script. So I literally locked myself in the room and memorized the whole script that he sent me. Everything with this character's parts, I just memorize it. Like I'm just up all night memorizing it. I got 4 days until this table read. I fly to LA. Go to the Sony lot for the first time. I'm looking around like a kid in a candy shop.
Yeah.
I walk in the room and I sit down and I'm like, oh my God. Taraji P. Henson is sitting over here. Megan Good is right here. Gabrielle Union's right here. I'm like, what table read is this? Like, what is going on? I'm thinking it's like an audition, but everybody is in the room.
Yeah.
And so I got these shades on. I take my shades off. I'm looking around and everybody starts reading off of the paper. And I just go in and start saying everything like I'm acting in the thing. I'm auditioning in the room, right?
Yeah.
The table read is over. I look over. Kevin Hart is sitting. He's like, man, I don't know but you crushed that, right? I don't know you as an actor, but I've seen you on TV, but you crushed that. And I got the role. They told me, hey, we basically spent all the money on these other actors. We gonna do what's called defer your payment and you'll get a back-end bonus if this movie does good. It's a small little movie, and if it does good, you'll get a back-end bonus. So I pretty much did the movie for scale, which is not a lot of money, showed up, did the movie. The movie was called Think Like a Man. The film was shot for $8 million. It went on to make over $100 million in the box office.
I need that back end.
I opened up my mailbox one day, and that's why I always got to give credit to Will and Steve Harvey and all those guys. I had a check for $1 million on a job that...
Man, let me borrow $1, bro.
Yeah, man, no. Hey, I spent it. Now, I spent the taxes. It's, you know, when you say get in that bag... Yeah. It was the first, I never seen anything like it. I'm from a small town in North Carolina. I grew up between North Carolina and New York. I bounced around. I never seen anything like that. I don't know any millionaires. I didn't know anybody. I went to a black college. I I didn't know what it even was. Yeah. And so it changed my life. You know, it changed my life instantly. And again, I was doing well, but stepping outside the box and taking it to the next level it changed my life. Yeah. You know, it changed my life.
That's dope, man. That's always inspiring to hear everybody's kind of journey as a whole. You know, we're running out of time, but you're now stepping from in front of the camera to the producer role. What stories are you trying to tell now from behind the camera?
Oh, man. So I just I shot a movie with Megan Good. We shot it in one of Cam's restaurants. So I'm the because you killing it.
I'm trying, bro.
Hey, listen,
I'm just trying to get that $1 million back in.
Hey, you got locations, brother. So that's a romantic comedy. Really excited about that. Yeah. And then I just wrapped principal photography on a movie with Tip. So we star in that one together. Yeah. Tip directs it. T.I. is an incredible director. I produced it. And that's fantastic as well. And then I'm really focused on helping people with my I have a financial literacy podcast. Oh wow. Shout out to my man Ray. He's in there. And we've been really just trying to break barriers and teach people about financial literacy as well, because I didn't really know about it when I was, coming up. So I really want to help people as well with that.
So to the point of financial literacy, it is.
It's hot in Miami right now.
When did you really understand money?
I watched right after the pandemic. I saw a podcast.
And circa the age, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but circa the age, like what age were you? And I'll share my story as well, just for perspective.
Oh, because I was 30-something before I really understood. I was always working for my money. I never put myself in a position where my money could work for me.
Talk to me.
There's a podcast called Earn Your Leisure.
Yes.
Some guys that look like me. They spoke a language that I could really understand.
Had that New York dialect.
They had and that's what really made me say, okay, I'm gonna stop putting all my money, in a bank account like it's a shoebox, and I'm gonna put it into some stocks. And once that started compounding, that changed my life. And then real estate really changed my life. I had a bad situation happen to me. I got a attempted car robbery right in front of my house, and it made me move from my house. And when I moved so fast, I rented the house because I couldn't sell it that fast. And then once I saw what rentals can do, it made me get into more rentals. And so now I have, a considerable amount of real estate ventures that started from a mistake. But I want to hear your story, man, because obviously I know you made so much bread in the league, but now you've been able to transition it.
My baby mama's listening. My girl here tonight too, so she trying to go shopping. Aventura, baby, Bar Harbor, baby.
Hey,
I'm broke, baby. She looking good, by the way.
Hey.
But for me, at 36, I'm vulnerably admitting that I did not learn about my funds until I was 32.
Wow. But I mean, financial advisors, I would assume
I
football,
never had a financial advisor.
Really?
I never was a splurger. And this is the funny thing that me and my girl joke about. It was like, she asked me a question like, what would most girls say about Cam? Like, we have that type of dynamic. And I'll be like, you know what? Most chicks always say, because it always gets back to me some way, shape, form, Cam cheap. Because I am. It's like, hold on, what you need that purse for when you got that purse that look just like that purse? You got all them hats. It's a brand, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do well enough to understand, but understanding the dollar was something that wasn't taught. And my point is, we need more people that we look to and say, oh, I can relate to him. Why? It's because when I was in school, I hated school. If PE was taught by a teacher that I did not like, I hated PE. If trigonometry was taught by a teacher that was cool with me, I loved trigonometry. So it wasn't the subject, it was the person that was teaching the subject. Nobody who looked like me could talk to me about the funds that I was getting. So therefore, I didn't necessarily make a mistake, but in learning about stocks, learning about real estate, learning about using your credit, earning your credit. I felt I went to the league around 21, 22.
Okay.
And you're talking to a person who felt pride in using his debit card. Because I just wanted the cashier to know, like, oh, baby, it's all there. It's all there. Louis Vuitton, it's all there. Purchase Rolex, oh, baby, it's all there. Debit me, please, it's all there. Debit or credit? Debit.
Take it.
Everybody heard the debit, I got it all. But now, as a man, grown man with kids, it's like, man, credit. It's still there. It's credit, bro. Here, I can pay that off. And knowing that the best thing that you have going for you as a human being is your credit. Yes. It was so embarrassing for me to look up and say, like, yo, what's my credit? I got all this money in my bank account and my credit wasn't nowhere where it needed to be so I can go and buy a space on my credit. I got all the money in the world, but no
leveraging
credit.
your assets, having credit,
those things,
all of that.
Those things,
so incredibly important.
So it's those things that it's like, bro, I tip my hat to you because getting into that space, and it's not about being a black thing or a minority thing. It's about being the person that is understood by the masses, because to teach people, it's all about being able to really go down on their level and bring them up to a different level. So with that, you mentioned Ray. I'm not sure, what that dynamic would be, but how will your plan of attack for content in financial literacy be in this space?
Oh, no. I mean, thank you for asking that. For me, I was told growing up, have one mortgage, don't have multiple properties. that stock market is dangerous. Be afraid of it. You know, I think for all of us, for young people especially, understanding money, understanding and not being afraid of it, and to have these conversations is of the utmost importance. So, you know, I'm definitely dedicating. As I do stuff in the entertainment field, I'll still do movies and television and film and all of those things, but making sure that we do something that can help the future generation. Because, you know, we won't have generational wealth. We won't have wealth in our communities. We won't be able to circulate our dollars if we don't have the dialogue and those conversations. So that's been very important to me.
I would also add to that, it's like, man, get uncomfortable with your social circle. If you hang around 5 brokies,
okay, preach to them.
You're going to be the 6th soon. And just because, like, on paper or digitally, you're successful or you got shoebox money or mattress money, if you do not have a social circle or an environment that challenges your ability to think outside to make more, it's inevitable. Absolutely. And like when I see certain things and I go about certain acts and I say to myself, it's like, yo, being around homeboys, that doesn't mean you can't hang out with them. Mm-hmm. It's like you talking about doing this financial literacy for the younger generation, but the reality of it all is like you may be doing it for your homeboy because your homeboy may be too uncomfortable to say, hey, bro, like, how you get a car?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know how to write a check.
And it's all around us. When you look at the plot of Happy Gilmore, right? Yeah. The entire movie was based around the fact that his grandma didn't pay her taxes and her house was about to be taken for $270-something thousand. Yeah. And his plan of attack was, I'm going to go out and work and, you know, do the golf so I can hustle to pay it back, right? And that's how all of us are programmed. How can we go get this bag, right? But now that we look at it, you know, in retrospect, it's about, yo, how can we leverage credit? How can we figure out other ways to get it? Yeah. And how can we not use our money? How can we use other people's money to get more money? How can we work together? How can we, instead of buying a house individually, how can we partner together and buy a duplex? And we can live in one and we can rent one out. Like, how can we work together to increase the financial literacy?
Those things.
That's the name of the game.
It's extremely important as you build as a person, no matter how old you are. It's just making sure that you're checking out all those boxes. That I spoke about this earlier in my podcast about the type of people you should have. And too many times we have too many of this friend, the turn up. The outside, we in Miami, but they're not. We got too many of them that enjoys that. We need, you know, people who we aspire to be, right? If you're in a relationship, you can't be hanging out with the bros that ain't in no relationship. It just don't work like that. And also, you need a professional voice. It's like, hey, bro, y'all read the Wall Street Journal? Y'all read this? It's like, man, we don't read that mess. But what it say, though? You know, you need that person. It's innate for your growth. And I think I would challenge everybody to do that on your own kind of, on your own type of time, because it's very beneficial for that. Now, before we get out of here, you've obviously made your name in live TV. What was the craziest story that you endured while doing a live taping that happened that nobody knows?
Ooh, man. You know, I would say 2009, I've been on TV for like maybe 2 years, and I'm on there, and, you know, we're laughing and joking and, you know, videos and everything like that. And I had an IFB in my ear. IFB is like it's an earpiece that connects you to the studio, and your producer will talk in your ear. So he'll go in my ear and he'll say, Terrence, you know, we got 30 seconds before commercial break, or Roxy, we got to get out of. And I remember he went in my ear because Roxy was currently talking. And so he went into my ear and was like, Terrence, when she's done, you know, with this read, I need you to calm down and pivot because Michael Jackson just died. and I need you to tell the audience. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. And I'm like on live TV, and I'm like listening, and I'm trying to process it at the same time because we're live. And I take a deep breath, and I deliver the news. And then even Rox looked at me, and so now they're in our ear, and they're telling us we have more information coming. And I remember that was a pivotal moment in my career. People will still walk up to me now and say, I remember, because it was part of my childhood. I remember, that everybody kind of knows where they were when certain people pass, right? For sure. And that was one of those ones, when 9/11 happens, when Michael Jackson died, you kind of know where you were. And a lot of people, that was a moment where I really connected with a lot of people. And I realized that that the voice of what we were doing really transitioned just having fun. And it was the beginning of using my voice and having my voice being used to not just talk about fun things, but to be able to transition into multiple things. But you got to tell me, because you doing some big things in live TV.
Trying.
How you preparing for that. I don't know if you telling people yet. I don't know what we doing, but I'm real excited about what you got going on.
You really about to tell your age, because you got to understand, in this climate of Gen Z, I can't really respect your car if you can't tell me what you was doing when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
I was in daycare. Nah, you too young. You wasn't even born yet and 9/11 happened, and then boom. It's so many things that you were saying. When Michael Jackson died, I definitely knew. Muhammad Ali, when he passed away, got arrested, so I knew exactly what I was doing. And it's crazy how life works. It's like when certain things happen, it's just like, it stops. But if you don't know, you're too young. Yeah. But for me, being on ESPN was a definite experience where, dare I say, is choreography. What's the word?
Choreography?
Choreographed dancing. Yeah. But it's that. It's we have prep calls. People don't think that you have prep calls, and you know kind of what certain people are going to say, but not the extent of it. And as you're doing certain things, it's like you do a live show, it's live, but to repurpose it to live television, they take a 2-hour show and condense it down to like an hour and 18 minutes.
Moments.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. And then it's just like, hold on, but y'all cut that out. But it is what it is. It's all about.
You look like you're having fun though. Are you having as much fun in this phase of your career as you did with football?
It's surprisingly crazy to think about it. But, man, I got scars, bro. Like, I went to surgery, like, concussed, shoulder surgery, knees, ankles. Like right now, during this time, the 25th of July, I will be in training camp. I'm talking to Terrence J on a premiere or just a Netflix event. It doesn't get no better than that. It's like, bro, like better. What I had to do to go get that bag, now I just really got to make entertaining, impactful, content. This is easy. But the thing about it, people don't realize it's harder because it's more consistent. But when you're an athlete and you know that your body is your temple, and you got to work out every single day, it's not changing what you do, it's how you literally implement it into becoming the best person that you can possibly be. We're here, Happy Gilmore. Mm-hmm. You got the golf swag.
Don't even ask. I know what you about to ask. My putts not good, but my swing immaculate. I can't wait. We're going to go out. Can we golf when we done with here?
No, the after party, I'm seeing a bunch of eyes and the yawns.
Oh, no, we turning up.
We in Miami.
Happy Gilmore 2, Netflix, Funky Fridays, Miami. We turning up, brother. We turning up.
You feel me?
Absolutely.
Before we end things here, and as we always end things here at Funky Friday, can you read the script? Are you coachable?
I'm coachable.
I know golf is like a very individual sport, but When I say all together, we're going to say one love.
I'm with you.
When I say all together, we're going to say one love. When I say all together, we're going to say what?
One love.
I see my man over there in the back. He ain't listening to me, but I'm trying to get my man's attention. And I don't know. I'm just talking smack. But when I say all together, we're going to say what?
One love.
Here we go. We're going to hold our hands out. All right. One finger. One pinky. One thumb. All together, one love. Ladies and gentlemen, Netflix Happy Gilmore 2 with my dog Terrence J. Hey. Appreciate you guys.
Sade, we did it.